What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Good evening, good evening, good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome in to Titans and Truth. I am your man, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we're going to have a great show for you this evening. And thank y'all for sticking with me. I had to get a few last points in, and as we got prepared for the show and getting everything ready for this show. And so that's what kept me a little bit, but I am here now. We are ready to roll. We are ready to rock, and we are ready to talk Titans. I see everybody in here. Everybody was in here early. I like that. Everybody was early, ready to go. Terrence, Belvis, Ryan, what's up with y'all? Brandon, look here. The show is rolling now, so we good. AZ Mick, what's going on? Derek, what's going on? Ryan, Reggie B. We know Texan fans are toxic, so are Jaguar and Colts fans too. So that's all we got to do. Brandon, we got to definitely talk. Now, I didn't really hear a lot about the comment, but I did hear the comment basically saying that Taylor Warren shouldn't be. I think he said like something around the words of shouldn't be classified as a leader and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll definitely have to talk about that one and everything. But we're definitely going to get everything going. So everybody, make sure y'all tap the like button. Make sure y'all hit that arrow button. Share the show out. Let everybody know that we are live and kicking, and we are in to have a good time. So y'all keep smashing that like button and keep smashing that share button. Tell everybody the show is on. The show is going on, and we are definitely going to have some fun tonight as we get ready. It's wrestling night. I'm ready to watch me some action, something that the Titans did not give us uh, on Sunday as we fell 30-20 to the Kansas City Chiefs. And I mean, it was a sad game. It was a sad game all the way around as the offense just was putrid in the first half. Ryan Suckup can't make kicks. And the dam broke defensively. The dam broke defensively. Um, and I mean, it's just it was a rough game to watch. It was extremely painful to watch. And you know, Class of Ryan, you might get a Dunce of the Day nomination with that comment. We gotta coach better. We sick and tired of hearing that. And absolutely, Belvis, you hit the nail on the head. Forgot to mention that. Penalties was a killer too. I mean, a absolute killer. And we always say it that penalties is a drive killer. Definitely a drive killer. And so just letting everybody get in, and we're going to talk about this in more detail. So just getting in some last little notes, but I got something for y'all on that one. I got some kind of special for it because this is how the Titans game made me feel. This is how I felt watching that football game. I felt that bad tingle in my spine. I felt it creeping up. I felt the fiend break ready to attack. That's what Carolina did to us. Carolina basically crept up on us. We weren't ready, and they attacked, and we could not stop them. And basically, it messed us all the way up for the rest of the game. It was a scary feeling, and it was just uncomfortable. That's what this game was like. It was uncomfortable. What's up, big boss? It was uncomfortable to say the least. It freaked me out. All right. I had to have a little fun. I had to have a little wrestling fun with y'all. You know, with it being wrestling night, I had to have a little bit of fun with y'all. But that's what it made me feel. It made me feel uncomfortable. This evil chill tickling up your spine, making you feel some sense of paranoia. That's what this game felt like. We'll quickly go over the stuff. For the fourth time this season, we were shut out in the first half. 3 field goals missed by Ryan Suckup. 11 penalties, 99 yards. Our so-called best left tackle in the NFL caused quite a few of those penalties himself. Jamil Douglas in his center looked like he shouldn't have been there in the first place. Nate Davis just looks more and more. He looks like a 7th-round rookie compared to a 3rd-round rookie. Malcolm Butler breaks his wrist. He's now on IR for the rest of the year. Arthur Smith just seems like he is way in over his head. And the defense just got tired because the offense did nothing to help them in the first half. And by the time they got it together, they were too late. And that's just what it seems like with Mike Vrabel and Arthur Smith. It seems like they're about a quarter or a half behind when they need to make an adjustment or do something different. And that's exactly what it was. We beat ourselves in the first half with all the penalties. By the time we were able to make a comeback, it was too late. And let's talk about Arthur Smith for a second, because I know I've seen somebody else say that Arthur Smith should be fired and things like that, which in a small way, I agree with that. And I'm not saying that Arthur Smith can't be good at his job. I just think he wasn't ready for the job just yet. He was about maybe another year away. I just don't think he's ready. I think this job as offensive coordinator is just too big for him. I think, the players like him, but he's just not ready for it. And the last 2 weeks tells you that. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you have the 32nd, the worst pass defense in the league, yet they're number one against the run. And what is Arthur Smith's game plan? Oh, we're just going to run it right up the middle into the meat of the number one run defense. With Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea all up in there. We're just going to run. We're going to run the football right at them and run up the middle instead of going with some outside zone reads getting to the edge. Great plan, Arthur. Almost cost you the game. Then with Carolina, you have, I want to say, a number 5 pass defense. They're 27th against the run. What does Arthur Smith do? He decides to come out passing the ball. And Derrick Henry only gets 2 carries in the first half. 2. Now, Tannehill only ended up throwing it 13 times. So in all, we have what? 15 or so, 15 to maybe less than 20 plays. Carolina has almost double that. We rarely had the ball in the first half. And that's why we got behind. That's why our defense got tired. And Belvis, you're right. Didn't make a bonehead decision. Vrabel couldn't make a bonehead decision because we were behind the whole time. So we really couldn't. And penalties kill us. And DO9, Cam Newton, no, 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 no. I don't want to hear anybody talking about we should go after Cam Newton. Cam Newton is past his prime. It's over. He's injury prone, barely can run, and his throwing ain't that great. We saw that in the Super Bowl against the Broncos. I don't want Cam Newton. Cam Newton is trash now. Maybe a little bit better than what we have, but still trash. And his fashion sense sucks. So if nothing else, a press conference would be interesting. But that's about it. But I would say from a discipline standpoint, I agree this was the worst game of the year. And I mean, this whole game plan thing is just not working for me. He does the exact opposite of what you should do. And I'm going to tell you more with this next game coming up with Kansas City, what we should do and what probably Arthur Smith and Mike Vrabel are going to do. We'll talk more about that later. Malcolm Butler broke his wrist on, trying to break up a pass. I believe it was a touchdown pass to Curtis Samuel. Ended up breaking his wrist. Unfortunately, he's on IR, out for the rest of the season. Ty Smith got signed. That's a big blow to our defense, which we were losing a few bodies. Jayon Brown kind of had a problem with his groin. Jarrell Casey was out, and so probably one of our top corners. It doesn't help our defense very much, especially with our next opponent. Doesn't help us at all. Belvis, we're going to get into Pamfield in just a minute. And the defense held on as long as they could. They did pretty well against Christian McCaffrey until they gave up another long run and the dam broke. DPs does live by a bend but don't break mentality and philosophy. And for the most part, Christian McCaffrey was pretty bottled up. Any touchdown that he had was very short. Now, I agree. That second one where he leaks out of the backfield, I don't know why is it nobody was right there with him the whole time and knew that he was probably getting the ball, which he was 90% of their offense, 80% of their offense. I don't know. But we had him pretty contained until he broke that 58-yard run right up the gut. And when that happened, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. Because at that moment, we were back in the game. I believe it was 23-14 at that time. And we were in the game. Touchdown happens, pretty much ended the game right there. So that was a tough pill to swallow in that particular game. But again, the Titans fall 30-20. And yes, with Kevin Pomfield, with this offensive line as messed up as it is, Ben Jones being out, and they decide to go with Jamil Douglas at center. Now, understanding that point, you really don't have anybody else to play center. But with Nate Davis struggling as bad as he is, how is it that Kevin Pomfield ain't getting on the field? I mean, he's wasting a roster spot. If they just signed him just to be a healthy scratch, I mean, cut him. Cut him and have somebody else up that can actually help us out. If Pomfield and Aaron Stinney are just going to be healthy scratches, why in the world are they even on the team? Is the question. Yet you have Rob Smith and Dalen Dawkins up. Dalen Dawkins ain't doing anything. And Rob Smith is what? On special team? I thought he's going to be helping in the running game. So why in the heck are they even on the team? Is what I'm trying to figure out. And Honores Gronsu, who roommate with Marcus, was active but didn't play any at all either. I mean, that just tells you the depth of the offensive line is just not there after Dennis Kelly. It's just not there. And it does make you wonder about Mike Mularkey, which is going to be one of my blue bombshell questions at the end of the game. So, there was a lot of problems with this game. And yeah, another play that did break our backs was that fake punt on 4th down. We needed to stop. We got one, and we could have gotten back in the game and we got the ball back. Instead, fake punt drive keeps going. I believe that was a touchdown drive that they had. Messed us up. So I hear a lot of people talking about possibly getting Cam Newton. Really, I don't want to hear about that. I don't see Cam Newton being on this team. And with this whole game, this coaching staff, I just don't think is the right coaching staff. I don't think Vrabel's the guy. And I've been saying it for the last few weeks now. Vrabel's got to go. Arthur Smith's got to go. Keith Carter's got to go. But the question is, would John Robinson have the balls to fire his boy and bring in an offensive-minded coach, and maybe they convince Dean Pease to stay? Now, that is something that I'm worried about. If Vrabel goes, Dean Pease probably goes too, depending on who they bring in here. Maybe they know Dean Pease and can convince him to stay. That is the question. So I hope everybody's doing good, though. And I hear Eric Bieniemy from Kansas City. He doesn't call plays. We be in the same situation. He doesn't call plays. Andy Reid does. And it makes you wonder. And this is the question for Blue Bomb Show. We're going to answer this later on. We're going to compare Mike Vrabel to Mike Mularkey. We're going to compare Vrabel to Mike Mularkey. And you know what? And Ryan, you're talking about any coaching ideas, coaching wise. We'll get to that later. That's a subject probably for another show. That's a good subject for another show. But those are my thoughts. But I want to see, who do y'all have as your two-tone blue star of the week? Not that many to choose from, but I'm pretty sure there's a couple that we could get out of there. Tannehill threw for 330 yards. A.J. Brown had, I believe, 4 catches for 81 yards. Derrick Henry had a couple of touchdowns. Harold Landry had a great game. He had, I believe, 6 tackles, a sack, and also an interception as well. So, I did hear AZ Mix says Harold Landry. Definitely. Let's see, trying to see some more Star of the Week nominations. I want to get them from y'all. Who are y'all two-tone blue Star of the Week nominations? Let's see, we got another 4. We got a few for Landry. We definitely got a few for Landry. We got a couple with Derrick Henry. We got one for Derrick Henry. Let's see, we got 4 for Harold. I'm sorry, 5 for Harold Landry. We got 3 for Derrick Henry. Let's see. All right, we got we got some Henry, we got some Landry. So let's see. I'm gonna go quickly on Facebook. I know I had a few there as well. Let's see. Give me a second, y'all. I'm hanging in there. Now, another nominee, the Black Cat. Now, I would say an honorable mention. The Black Cat from the Cowboys Giants game has to be a nominee, has to definitely be an honorable mention. The Cat had more knowledge of the field than some of the Tennessee Titans did. And shout out to Kevin Harlan. I mean, Kevin Harlan, Kevin Harlan I mean, called it perfectly. It was beautiful how he called um that the black cat crossing into the end zone. I'm gonna see if I can pull up that clip. I'm gonna try to see I'm gonna try to see if I can get it to where yeah, here we go. Here we go. Three. He's at the 2. And the cat is in the CDW red zone. CDW, people who get it now, a policeman, state troopers come on the field, and the cat runs into the end zone. That is a touchdown. And the cat is elusive, kind of like Barkley and Elliott. But he didn't know where to go. Look at, they're trying to corner him, and they got him in the end zone. There are state troopers all around this cat, which now climbs up into the stands, and the fans are running for their life. Now it goes back on the field again. And it's running in the back of the end zone. And it runs up its. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to play that clip. That is why Kevin Hart is one of my favorite voices of all time. The cat scores a touchdown. More than quite a few Titans have done recently. So I definitely like that. But the two-tone blue star of the week has to be Harold Landry. Harold Landry, he had a heck of a game. He has his 6th sack of the year, on his way to double-digit sacks. Definitely like his game. He's definitely coming. He's definitely coming. He's not a game wrecker yet, but he is making some big plays every game. So that is something to definitely build on. I definitely like Harold Landry, the two-tone blue star of the week. Now, of course, whenever there's a star of the week, there is a dunce of the day. And I already seen a few people put out some nominees with Vrabel and Arthur Smith. Obviously, Ryan Suckup for missing field goals. Dion Lewis fumbling the football. Um, I've seen a few. Let's see. I think I've seen like 3. I've seen like 3 or 4 for Ryan Suckup. I've seen, I want to say 2. Well, actually, yeah, I've seen 3. I've seen 4 for Suckup. I'm seeing about 3 for Dion Lewis. I've seen like 2 for Arthur Smith. Well, 3 for Arthur Smith. Um, I've seen 2 for AJ Brown. Wow. I've seen a couple for AJ Brown dropping, missing a pass that ended up causing an interception. Definitely. Receivers with drops. Bring back Cody Parkey. I definitely could see that. But you know what? I hear some of y'all on that one. I definitely do. So definitely, I would have to say the dunce of the day has got to go to Ryan Suckup. And he definitely sucked on the field. Actually, I give another honorable mention. Dunce of the day has to go to Dion Lewis. Fumbling the football on a big drive. We were in Carolina territory, and this was a run. He made a first down on this run and then fumbled the ball. Now we know Arthur Smith. We know Arthur Smith always is a dunce, and so is Vrabel. So I mean, it kind of gets old naming those guys dunces of the day every week. We kind of got to do something else. But and I agree, the whole team could kind of be that. Taylor Lewan kind of deserves it. So I would say Ryan Suckup is the dunce of the day, but you got some honorable mentions: Arthur Smith, Mike Vrabel, Dion Lewis, AJ Brown, Taylor Lewan. Those are your honorable mentions. Absolutely. They deserved it. The whole team didn't play well. Nobody played A lot of people didn't play well in this game. And that is a problem. That is a big problem. So, Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week, Harold Landry. Dunce of the Day, Ryan Suckup. And shout out to Khalif Raymond, too. I believe Khalif Raymond had, I know he had a nice return against Tampa Bay. He had another nice return against Carolina. He had one more return, but it got called back because of a penalty on that. So Khalif Raymond probably does make Darius Jennings expendable. Definitely. So those are your star of the week and dunce of the day. But now it is time for Pick My Brain. Pick my brain. All right, y'all. I want y'all to hit me up with some questions and not any coaching questions because that'll be at the end of the show. We're going to be talking about that. So, I got some definitely for that. But let's get some questions in. Let's see. I know I had one from Mr. Joseph. He says, what does it mean for a sports team when they win the division championship at the end of the season, playoff wise? Well, it could mean a lot of things. I mean, it could mean, division championship might have been the only way to get into the playoffs. It could have meant, getting a home game. It could have meant clinching a first round bye. Or if it hasn't been wrapped up, getting home field advantage throughout the playoffs if you got the best record. So it could mean a lot of things, but I think mainly it would mean playoff wise, either getting a home game in a wild card round or you've clinched the first round bye. And another, if another division team made it in. So it could be about positioning in this instance. So, like for example, in our division right now, the Texans are 6-3, the Colts are 5-3, and right now the Texans are in the lead for the division title. The Colts is probably in a wild card spot right now. So that means the division leader either host a playoff game or could get a first round bye. And the second place team is on the road for wild card weekend. So that's basically what that could mean playoff wise. In other sports, you win a division title, you're basically in NBA, you're hosting a first round series. You could be hosting a first round series, something like that. In the NHL, you probably get some home ice. You get some home ice. Depending on how many points you have, you could get home ice through the playoffs and everything with that. So that's something that's very, very important. And getting home field advantage is big. In the NBA, it's important. In the NFL, it's important. In NHL, it's really not that important. And the same with baseball, because in those two sports, it is very, very unpredictable. In hockey, the road team could win all the game. It just depends on how the puck bounces. In baseball, it just depends who has the hot bat or who is the hot pitcher at the time. So anything can happen with those sports. But football and basketball, pretty predictable. The home teams usually do the best. Let's see. I know I had a couple of other questions. Let's see. Thoughts on Tannehill? So far, I think Tannehill has actually done pretty well. I know Jared the GM thinks that Tannehill is doing a great job. I wouldn't go that far. I think he's done a good job. He's very solid. He's done a lot of things well with that. I mean, he pushes the ball down the field, seems to have a good command of the offense, but he is more of a gunslinger, will take more risk. Something Marcus would not do. I mean, I know he's thrown an interception. I know he threw a couple of interceptions in the game, but you know what? Tannehill's taking risks, something Marcus wouldn't do. So I'm okay with that. We know that can happen with that. So those are my thoughts of Tannehill. Ryan says, have any of y'all ever noticed that any special teams penalty is on every special teams penalties on Darren Bates? You know what? I don't know, but I mean, yeah, I can see that because Darren Bates, I mean, he's good on special teams, but it would either been him or David Fluellen. David Fluellen's out for the year, so you can't really say him on that one. So yeah, that's interesting. Let's see. Now, yeah, Tannehill, that was the first interception really wasn't on him because A.J. Brown should have caught that football. He should have caught it. It was a little bit high, but he still should have brought it in. The second one was on Tannehill. I do agree. I think he was expecting Khalif Raymond to come across the safety, not behind him. And I think they miscommunicated there. And that's where that second interception came through. Um, let's see. I want to say Carolina had under 7 penalties. I'm not sure. I'm looking that up as we speak. So give me just a moment. I can get that for you. Carolina only had 6 penalties. Carolina only had 6 penalties. Titans had 11 with that. So that's what I'm thinking with that. Texas could fall down this season. We could bounce back. I mean, we could, but we're gonna have to get some wins off, and it's gonna have to start this week. Honestly, it's got to start this week, definitely. So, any other pick my brain questions? Get them up. Hit me up. Hit me up. Talk to me. And I want to thank Joseph. He gave me a big comment basically saying, I'd rather, he would rather listen to Titans and Truth than some of the media, that I'm the voice of the voiceless and everything. And, I know some other people say keeping it real. I appreciate that. I don't know if I deserve all that praise. I hope I do a good job for y'all. I hope I do it pretty good for you. Bring you the best content of the Titans that we possibly can. I want to know what y'all think. I want y'all to let me know. And I'm serious when I say that. I want to know, do I seriously do a good job? Somebody not completely in the media. Do I do it well? Or is there some things I can improve on? Or do I suck? Hey, that's what I'm here for. I want to be better for y'all. This is what I do. I enjoy doing this because this is what I do want to do for my career. But at the same time, I want to bring y'all the best. So that's what I want to do. And Ryan, thank you for that. Look forward to every Wednesday. Isaiah, I appreciate that too. Um, I know everybody want Cam Newton. I'm not really feeling him either. I mean, he's got to be healthy. And honestly, that would mean we would still draft a quarterback. Plus, he might be expensive. He's going to want a lot of money, something that the Tennessee Titans might not afford, might not be able to afford. Let's see. Isaiah said we're going 6-10. Texas ain't going nowhere. I agree. They're not going nowhere. They're definitely not going nowhere. I mean, hey, the Texans are good. The Texans are good right now, and Indy has a better offensive line. Belvis, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, everybody, very much on that. So now that we've seemed to have answered a lot of questions, Philip Rivers, I forgot about that. Now, Philip Rivers, I would be okay with. I would be okay with, yeah, he's not mobile and anything like that, but the man has command of the offense, and the guy, he has some swag. He has some moxie to him. Not saying Cam Newton doesn't. Philip Rivers has that right swag, a leader swag. Like he'll get up in the guy face and be like, look, we got to do this better. We got to do this right. Cam has that different swag. He'll be good if things are up, but he'll be sad coming in with the ugly clothes, be like, we just ain't, it just wasn't good today. And I'm surprised to hear a woman talking about routes and all this just being just all kinds of down and stupid with that. Now, one thing I will say with Cam Newton, press conferences would be very interesting. I will definitely say that. Press conferences and fashion sense would be interesting. I think he sucks with the fashion sense, but it's good. It would be something I would laugh at and talk about every week, without a doubt. Let's see. A lot of people not sold on Cam Newton, so am I. Class Ride, what do you think of North Turner for head coach or at least offensive coordinator? You know what? North Turner has experience as a head coach, and he's a very good offensive coordinator. I don't know if he leaves Carolina unless it's for a head coaching job. Because I mean, if he feel like he goes somewhere else to be an offensive coordinator, he'd be like, I would stay right there. Now with Philip Rivers and North Turner, I could see that happening. I really could. I could see that happening. That's if North Turner would want to. I don't know. He may be happy where he is. So I could see it. Don't know if it would happen. Um, Kyle Allen did throw some nice passes. He didn't throw an interception. No, except one. He did throw one. Kyle Allen, Carolina is in good hands. I'll give him that. Kyle Allen, not a superstar quarterback, just a very solid one. Just a very solid one, I would say. Who's all ready for Hurts 2020? Quarterbacks in the draft will probably be for another show. I mean, although I will say, even though I know I said what I said about Tua earlier in the year, even though Tua is injury prone, I would be down for Tua. I would love just Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow. But only problem is Joe Burrow is playing so well, he's playing out of our range. And we're probably going to have to trade up to get him. Justin Herbert scares the crap out of me. Justin Herbert is Marcus Mariota 2.0, in my honest opinion. In Oregon out there, it's a one-read system. What happens if that one read is not open right away? Herbert will freeze up under pressure. I think Jacob Eason is the best quarterback in the Pac-12. And I haven't really watched that much of Eason. Jake Fromm, I know a lot of people are down on now. I would just say if we're going to keep this staff together next year, which I pray to God we don't, Jake Fromm is the perfect quarterback because he's a manager. He's not going to do too much to cost you the game. He might take a chance here or there. I think he has a little bit better arm strength than Marcus, a little bit smarter, has a little bit of moxie to him, but not great. Jalen Hurts could be like a Patrick Mahomes. I'm not sure. I think he's gotten better since he's gotten to Oklahoma, and that's with a good coach in Lincoln Riley. But I don't know. I don't know when it comes to Jalen Hurts. I'm kind of nervous about that. Um, let's see. Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater is going to command a lot of money. He made himself a lot of money when he started for New Orleans these last 6 games. He made a lot of money, might be outside of our range. I think he could be good. I mean, he's a terrific comeback story. Coming back from that catastrophic injury and doing stuff Marcus couldn't do coming back from injury. Definitely agree. Um, Jordan Love, not ready yet. Not ready. He's not ready yet. I haven't really watched a lot of Utah State, but Utah State is just not that good, honestly. And really, I seen somebody talk about Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, it's a double whammy. A, he's from Oregon. B, he wears number 10. And we've seen bad luck with quarterbacks from Oregon and quarterbacks that wear number 10. Vince Young, Jake Locker, perfect example, which is why I'm kind of down a bit on Jacob Eason. Jacob Eason, Washington, wears number 10. Not a good recipe, plain and simple. Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton might not be that bad, but I don't know. I don't know. If anybody wants Andy Dalton, I would just stick with Ryan Tannehill, to be so honest. I would stick with Tannehill. Um, who do I think will win Sunday? We're gonna get to that. And that's exactly what we're about to get to now. Is let's preview the Kansas City Chiefs so we can get up out of here. The Kansas City Chiefs coming in at 6-3 on the year. Um, Kansas City just had a victory over the Minnesota Vikings in a very, very good football game. And Matt Moore did well. Patrick Mahomes practiced, which is not a good sign for us. It does look like all points look like Patrick Mahomes is going to return. And again, not good news for us. Definitely not good news. Um, and he practiced fully, which means Patrick Mahomes is probably going to go. Unless something shocking happens, Patrick Mahomes is going to play. And I don't have a good feeling about this game, y'all. Let's take a look at the stats. Let's take a look at the stats. Kansas and comparing offensively Chiefs to us. Kansas City Chiefs, sixth best offense in the league in total yards, just right at 391 yards a game. Sixth in points per game at 28. Only allows 16 sacks. That's 23rd in the league. 23rd worst. That means they're good at protecting their quarterbacks. They're second in passing the football, just over 300 yards a game. Now they're 24th in the league in running the football at just over 90 yards a game. With us, we're 18th in running the ball at 101 yards, 24th in passing the ball, just over 213 yards, 26th in total offense at 314 yards a game, and 26th in points, 19 points a game. We're the worst in the league in allowing sacks, 38. Not good. We're about to face a high-powered offense, and our offense is not good enough. Defensively, we might have a shot here. Kansas City, 29th against the run at over 140 yards a game. Titans are 15th against the run, giving up just around 103 yards a game. But the Chiefs are 11th against the pass, only giving up about 230 yards a game. Titans 17th at 236 a game. 22nd in total offense is the Chiefs, giving up over 369 yards a game. Titans are 13th at 339. In points allowed, scoring defense, Chiefs are 18th. The Titans are 7th. So we're still less than 20 points a game. And the Titans, 8th in the league in sacks with 25. Chiefs with 26 sacks. They're 7th. And offensively, they have a lot of weapons. Mahomes, you got Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Both of them have hurt us in the past. Mecole Hardman, guys better than we thought. You got Shady McCoy is still back there, Damian Williams, and I forgot about Sammy Watkins. They have a plethora of weapons. They have about 5 receivers. They have about 4 or 5 receivers we got to try to contain. And all of this without Malcolm Butler. I could definitely see us employing a 3 safety set, let Amani Hooker play in the nickel. I could see that. And we're going to need all the help we could get trying to cover Hill, Kelce, Hardman, Watkins. We're going to have to cover all those guys. And so, I mean, this is a lot of offense we got to deal with. Darren Robinson says, watch Tennessee win this game because we're supposed to lose. Usually the Titans play up to their opponents and play down to others. This is a game the Titans could end up winning because They're at home. They usually play well against good teams at home. And against teams we don't have any shot of beating. So this is not going to be an easy game. Definitely. And I know quite a few of us still want to pick the Titans. Some people are picking Kansas City. We're definitely got to see about that. Now, defensively, they do have a few players defensively for the Kansas City Chiefs. You got Frank Clark, who's a big time pass rusher. Derek Nani and Chris Jones, good solid defensive linemen. Now their secondary not as great. Even though they got Kendall Fuller and Brashard Breeland and Tyron Matthew, Honey Badger. This is a defense we can attack. You can attack this defense, which will lead me to the Blue Enforcer 4 points of victory. And we're going to start with the offense. These are ways we can beat the Chiefs. Number one, Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. Number one, we have got to control the clock. We have got to control the tempo of this game. We have got to control the tempo of the game. We got to control the tempo of this game. We got to control time of possession. That's one thing that we're going to have to do. We have got to run way more plays than they do, and we've got to keep the ball away from Patrick Mahomes as much as we possibly can. Hey, we can't hold the ball for 64 minutes, but if we can control the clock, maybe over 35 minutes of possession, 35 to maybe close to 40 minutes of possession, we got a shot in this game. And which leads me to point number two. Best way to do that, as Jared Stillman would say, let the big dog eat. Run, Henry, run. Run the beast. Let Derrick Henry, this is a game Derrick Henry should run about 30 times. Don't care how the game's going. Run the rock. I would go run heavy in this game. Make the game boring. Try to make it uninteresting for the Chiefs. Maybe they get uninterested, make some mistakes, and we take advantage of that. But that's what we're going to have to do offensively. Control time of possession. By way of doing that, run the beast. Now, they're probably going to try to sell out and stop the run. We can lead to some play action there. And slow, methodical drives. Don't try to score too fast. We need to take the ball first. And if we win the toss, receive. Don't defer to the second half. Take the ball first. Try to drive down the field, get a score. We go up 7-0 before Mahomes takes the field. And we have got to score on our first drive. We can't have none of these getting shut out in the first half. Can't happen. Number three, and it's starting on the defensive side. Avoid big plays. I would say I would play some zone, play some cover two. Keep everything in front of you. Slow this game down. Do not let them get yards after catch. Do not let them make any big plays because this is an offense that can score and can score in bunches. And if they do that and we got to be in a track meet with them, that is a race the Titans cannot win. We are not built for a track meet. We're not built to score 30 points just like that. We got to slow them down. And another way to slow it down, which leads me to point number 4. Keep Mahomes contained. Keep him in the pocket. Don't let him extend plays. Get after him. Hit him. We've got to get some hits on him. We got to get some sacks on him. That is going to be very important because that's going to help. A pass rush can help a depleted secondary. Malcolm Butler being down, that's the best way to help LaShawn Sims get sacks on Mahomes. Do not let him extend plays. Do not let him get out of the pocket. Keep him in the pocket, crowded around him so that he feels the pressure and he can't get the ball out of there because he's so compact. He's packed up in there. That's what we got to do to win this game. And I like little Kilo. He said, keep Dion Lewis off the field. I agree totally. Dion Lewis has no place in this game. But that is the best thing that we could do. Keep Mahomes on the sideline as much as possible. We have got to hold him off as much as we possibly can. Now, is Mahomes going to get a few of his? Absolutely. But we've got to contain Patrick Mahomes as long as possible to give us a chance. And to contain Tyreek Hill, the best person to put on him, in my opinion, is Adoree. He's the fastest. He's a guy that can keep up with him. I don't know if they'll do that, but that would be the best case to do it. So those are my 4 points to victory. Control time of possession, run the beast, run him hard, avoid big plays, yards after catch. Excuse me. And keep Mahomes contained. We got to be disciplined in this game, offensively and defensively. No pass interference penalties. For the love of God, offensive line, no penalties on the offensive line. We can't be killing ourselves in this game. Against a team this good, you cannot shoot yourself in the foot. We have no room for error in this game, which leads me to my prediction. And this is hard for me. This is very, very, very hard for me. Now, I have got to stick with my prediction from earlier this year. I picked Kansas City to lose. I picked us to lose this game to Kansas City, and I'm unfortunately going to have to stick with that pick. I don't think we're going to have enough offense to keep up with them. We're going to try to keep up with them early, but then the Chiefs are going to kind of get away from us late because the offense is going to let us down and the defense is not going to be able to hold up forever. I really hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. Let me preface that. Anytime I might pick against the Titans, I want them to win, but we got to be realistic. I know a lot of you want the Titans to win or are picking the Titans to win. I just don't see it in this game. I just don't see it happening. I think the Chiefs beat us. I think we keep up early on, but I think the Chiefs begin to pull away late. I'm looking at a 34. I'm looking at like a 34-13. I don't see a victory here. I don't see a victory, and I honestly don't know where too many more victories are going to be at for the rest of the year. And if we go down, we finish 6-10 or 5-11, Vrabel's seat should be damn hot. And John Robinson might need to make that move because you fired Mike Mularkey because you said 9-7 going to the playoffs, winning a game was not good enough. And you wanted to bring in your boy because y'all connected and y'all are friends and wanted to go from good to great, which has not happened. So if we continue down this trend, Vrabel's going to get in trouble. I see it happening. Because we went 9-7, missed the playoffs. Disappointed we give a pass on that because it was his first year. This year, I'm not giving no pass. I'm not giving no pass this time. Derek Roberts, no, they do not have Justin Houston. He's in Indy now. And as AZ Mix says, we went from good to horrible. I won't say horrible, but we went from good to mediocre again. And that ain't good enough. Which gets me to my blue bombshell question of the night. Are we missing Mike Mularkey? Are we really missing him right now? Because let's take a look. Vrabel 9-7, 4-5 right now. He is 13-12 as the head coach of the Tennessee Titans right now. Mike Mularkey went 9-7 2 years straight. Won his first game as interim coach, but then went 9-7 2 years straight. And we could have made the playoffs 2 years in a row if that wasn't the year Marcus broke his leg. And we had a shot at the playoffs. So are we really missing Mike Mularkey? I honestly think Mike Mularkey would have still been the head coach of the Tennessee Titans if he had just fired Terry Robisky. And he wouldn't do it, so that got him fired. I'm pretty sure J-Rob is probably going to go to Vrabel and say, look, we need to make changes. Arthur Smith, Keith Carter got to go. And if Vrabel refuses, he needs to be out the door too. That's just me. So Jacob says, I think Mularkey was able to motivate the hell out of his players. Now everyone starts slow. But as Mularkey, we was mediocre. We need to be better. We should have just fired his coordinators and kept. He should have just fired his coordinators and kept them. Like I said, if Mularkey had fired Robisky, he would still be the head coach right now. And Derek Roberts says his pride and love for his friend clouded his judgment. Now, are we talking about Mularkey or are we talking about John Robinson with Vrabel? And see, Natalie Foss saying, I hate when really good teams go to extremely bad. And that's kind of what's going on. This team was supposed to be better than last year's team. And talent-wise, we are better than last year's team. But the coaching stinks. And Jacob, I see that. Just like J-Rod hiring Vrabel clouded his judgment. I agree with that. Honestly, I would have been much better if Matt LaFleur was the head coach. Look at what he's doing in Green Bay. Now, granted, he's got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. That's most of it. But Matt LaFleur looking pretty darn good in Green Bay. Next head coach has to be offensive minded so that he can run the show. And maybe, and in that way, if he's running the show and the offensive coordinator gets another job, the train doesn't stop. That's just me. I think J-Rob's judgment was clouded. He wanted his friend instead of making the right hire, and he only interviewed 3 guys. He didn't interview nobody else. You know, he didn't interview Zach Taylor. He didn't interview Brian Flores. Or he didn't interview trying to think some other first-year coaches that are around. You know, he didn't give Hugh Jackson an interview, even though Hugh Jackson stunk. I wouldn't mind bringing Hugh Jackson in as OC. I could see that. Hugh Jackson as offensive coordinator, that's just it. Because he ain't going to get another head coaching job. Hugh Jackson as OC would be good. I think he would be good as an offensive coordinator, and that's that on that. Basically what North Turner is doing. North Turner ain't trying to be a head coach. That's what I would think. Frank Reich, great job. We didn't interview him when we had an opportunity. Sure didn't. Look at Indianapolis. They just seem to have all the luck. Luck always seems to be with the Colts. First, they go from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck. Then they go from Chuck Pagano to Bruce Arians, who led them pretty much the whole time. Now to Frank Reich. Indy seems to have all the luck, and that's bad. So it is what it is. I don't think Vrabel is much better than Malarkey, in my honest opinion. They're both stubborn. They both won't change anything. And Vrabel seems like the type of guy, like almost like Robisky. We're gonna keep doing the same thing because I believe it works instead of adapting to the opponents you're playing. Which I'm betting this week, Arthur Smith is probably concocting this brilliant game plan of, you know what? Instead of running on the 29th off run defense, let's try to score quick, score fast, pass, score fast. Let's make it a trap meet with them. Not a good recipe. Not a good recipe at all. But that's how I feel about this game, y'all. Look, I'm about to get up out of here. Again, make sure y'all share this show out. Make sure y'all share this show out to everybody. Let me see. Joseph says, if we go 4-12 this season, Mike Vrabel needs to be fired afterwards. I miss Mike Malarkey and Cody Parkey right now. Matt LaFleur or Frank Wright would have been better. I agree. Get Smith a FedEx uniform and out of Nashville. Oh, man. He's got plenty of money. That much is true. But y'all, make sure y'all share this show out. Make sure y'all go on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Make sure y'all follow that. Tell everybody about it. Spread the word to everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in to Titans and Truth. My name is Chris. I'm gonna try to have a guest on for next week. I'm gonna try to get get a guy or two for next week's show. We're probably gonna talk. If we lose this game, we're gonna be looking at some head coaches and quarterbacks. That much is a fact. Might be mock draft watching. So thank y'all for tuning in to Titans of Truth. I'm your boy Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and I am gonna leave y'all with some good music as we get up out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in. And
hey Brad, did you hear Nationwide and Amazon have teamed up to bring you the all-new Echo Auto? My fans are gonna want to wear this.
So yeah, I appreciate y'all very much and everything. Isaiah, thank y'all for that. Great show as always. I'll holler at y'all later. If the Titans stink it up the rest of this year, no one will survive.